the Achaemenid Persian Empire, often overshadowed in Western history by the Greeks who defeated it. For centuries, our primary narrative of this empire came from its enemies, the ancient Greeks. They portrayed Persia as a decadent, tyrannical foil to Greek democracy and freedom. The Persian perspective, its administrative brilliance, religious tolerance, and monumental architecture were largely ignored. Alexander the Great deliberately burned the palace at Persepolis, a symbolic act of destroying the heart of the empire. It wasn't until modern archaeology and the decipherment of cuneiform that the empire's own records and magnificence were rediscovered. The Kingdom of Aksum, a major African power contemporary with Rome and Persia. At its height, Aksum, in modern Ethiopia or Eritrea, controlled the Red Sea trade, minted its own coins, erected colossal obelisks, and was one of the first empires to officially adopt Christianity. Despite this, it is rarely included in mainstream lists of major classical empires. Its decline due to shifting trade routes, climate change, and isolation led to its fade from global memory. Eurocentric historical models often marginalized sub-Saharan African achievements, relegating Aksum to a footnote. Its monumental stelae were literally toppled, possibly by Queen Gudit, and its history was preserved mainly in local Ethiopian traditions until modern archaeological work. Imagine a sprawling city of stone, swallowed by the jungle for centuries. This was the fate of the incredible Khmer Empire, the masterminds behind Angkor Wat, one of the largest religious monuments ever built. After the empire's decline, nature took over. The once mighty capital, with its temples and reservoirs, was consumed by the Cambodian jungle. While locals always knew of its existence, the sheer scale of this lost civilization was a mystery to the rest of the world. Why was it abandoned? A mix of environmental pressures, crumbling infrastructure, and outside threats likely led to its downfall. It wasn't until French explorers stumbled upon it in the 19th century that its grandeur was revealed again. With most historical records lost to time, the silent stone inscriptions and the breathtaking architecture are all that remain to tell their epic story. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more journeys into history. The Republic of Venice, which stood from 697 to 1797, was not lost to time, but deliberately erased from political memory. For over a millennium, Venice was a sovereign maritime empire, a dominant economic, naval, and cultural power. Its complex republican system and vast Mediterranean holdings were unparalleled. The empire was not forgotten, but systematically dismantled. It was ended not by natural decline, but by conquest. Napoleon Bonaparte dissolved the Republic in 1797, handing its territories to the Habsburgs. Its political institutions, symbols, and imperial identity were deliberately suppressed. Its history was repackaged as a romantic tourist destination, obscuring its former imperial power. Have you ever wondered if the history you know is the whole story? Imagine a world where history is not just written by the victors, but completely rewritten to fit a political agenda. This wasn't science fiction. It was the reality under both Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. They didn't just bend the truth, they shattered it. From doctoring photos to erase disgraced officials, to creating entirely new national myths, these regimes understood a powerful secret: control the past, and you control the future. They systematically destroyed books, silenced historians, and taught a generation of children a fabricated version of their own history. Want to see how deep the rabbit hole goes? Subscribe for more. History is often written by the victors, but what of the stories that are intentionally erased? New religions and political systems often dismantle the symbols and records of the old. This is ideological suppression, a conscious effort to rewrite history. From the Christianization of the Roman Empire to the destruction of indigenous records in the Americas, this pattern repeats. We are left with fragments, whispers of what was, and the enduring question: what have we truly lost? The popular History Channel version of a single, globe-spanning empire erased by a conspiracy, like Atlantis, is a myth. The reality is more nuanced and fascinating. History is not a fixed record, but a constant argument. Empires fade through a combination of silencing, forgetting, and dismantling. The true lost empires are those whose voices were suppressed in the historical narrative, waiting for archaeology, linguistics, and a more inclusive historiography to recover them, not from a conspiracy but from the shadows of neglect and the bias of the historical record.